My dear friend, Dr. Leslie Faulkner with the Drug Enforcement Administration is here with us. Now, this weekend is another drug take-back, and we'll get to that in just a moment, Doc. But I do want to start by talking about where we are in this fentanyl and overdose crisis. I was saying to Dr. Faulkner during the break that with everything going on, watching wars overseas and the political shifts that are happening, the public, reasonably so, can get distracted away from something like this. And unless you're dealing with it in your family, it's not something that's on your radar. So for people who haven't been paying attention, give them an update. Where are we in this crisis now?
Well, we are literally still in a crisis. We still have fentanyl coming in over the borders and from everywhere because transportational wise, when you start speaking about it, there are many modalities that these drugs come in. But we're still in a crisis mode. And so we can't let our guards down. This event that's coming up for Take Back will remove some of the household drugs from the homes that oftentimes start this addiction process or whatever. But for the most part, fentanyl is still very real, it's still fatal, and we have to be on alert for these counterfeit pills. You need to be extremely cautious where you purchase your medications, especially online for the most part. But you shouldn't take any pill that's not prescribed for you from anyone.
You know, we talked about this when you were here before. The number of people who are trying to get high and end up dying because whatever they're buying is laced with something. And there is a local initiative here to inform the public about that. What are y'all telling the public when you are engaging with them about, in addition to what you just said about being careful and things that they could look for in relatives or even kids in their homes that could potentially be using?
Well, this is what, this is really basically my role as the community outreach specialist, is to educate and empower people about the fentanyl and other poisonings. And they're poisonings. You're poisoned when you don't know what you're taking. And some people do, and there are overdose circumstances, but there are a lot of poisonings. When these counterfeit pills are made, there are so many substances, illicit substances that are placed in them that it's hard to tell if fentanyl or xylazine or some other substance is placed in these things. And so when people take them and they die, we're confused, we're hurt, we're dealing with the stigma that's also associated with the process. And so we need to break down these barriers and encourage and empower people with the knowledge that we know, educate them about these drugs. They're counterfeit. They look just like the real pills, but they're actually counterfeit.
Let's talk about Drug Take Back. This is the second one this year. Y'all do it early part of the year in the spring, and then there's this one. And you're at, and there's the graphic for it. It's Saturday at Baton Rouge Police Department headquarters. I have been out there when y'all have done this, and it is amazing the amount of drugs people drop off to you guys. So for someone who doesn't know, talk about Take Back.
Okay, this is our 25th National Prescription Take Back. So we've been doing this for over a decade now. And so we have places that not only Baton Rouge Police Department, but if you go to www.deatakeback.gov and put your zip code in, you'll find the nearest location if that one is too far away. And so we're asking that you bring all of your unwanted, expired drugs to us, and we will take them back. But if you miss this event, which takes place in April and October, you miss it, that's okay, because what you can do is go back on that site, put in, there are many drugstores, police departments, and different other agencies who have take-back boxes all year round. So there's no excuse for you to keep that stuff.
Well, you see people dropping them off in all kinds of bags, and one of the things that I've had this question, people don't want to drop off prescription drugs because their names are on the bottles and all that stuff. You're burning and getting rid of that. Nothing is kept, right?
Everything is being insinuated. So we're not looking at it. We're not looking at names. Actually, we ask that we don't even look in the bags. If you bring the drugs, we do ask if there's liquids, please tighten the container up, but we have liners and all that. We're not even worried about that. We just want you to bring what you have. No judgment. It's anonymous. We don't know what you put in the bag, how much of it. We just want you to bring what you have to us.
Put that graphic up one more time, Scott. That's Drug Take Back taking place this weekend. She gave you the address to find a location near where you are. If you're not close to BRPD, that's okay. There are multiple places around the city where you can drop off drugs. Doc, thank you. We'll do this again next year, right? Or before, maybe?
April, I'm here.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what's happening in Israel right now. Colonel Kuvion is back with us to give us an update. We'll get into that next.